Because the idea is that you don't want all of these icons, staring at you while you're trying to be intimate.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to another episode of Love and All the Things. Today, I am very excited to be speaking with Belinda Mendoza. Belinda is an expert in Feng Shui, but why don't we ask her what she's all about? Hi, Belinda. How are you?
Hello, thank you all the way from Australia. I'm here in Austin, Texas, and it is 108 degrees. I don't know how about you converting that, but it's very hot. We've had very hot weather for 2 solid months, so we're ready for fall. But I'm delighted to be on your show because I love sharing this topic, and I've been doing this work for 23 years now. I formed my company Design for Energy, which is all about aligning spaces so people have better success in their lives. And it's with the art of Feng Shui, which I was trained in the US and in China. My previous work was in medical sales, pharmaceutical sales, and I really wanted a work-life balance. And I wanted, after being in that field for so many years, I wanted something, that was more creative and I was going to be happier doing. And I really couldn't find anything that I really enjoyed until I came across this notion by a friend that she said, "Did you know if you moved your desk around, you could totally boost your career?" And I was fascinated with the idea because I had already been kind of interested in energy work. And I started studying it while I was still on the job. And within about a year's time, I put the wheels in motion to resign from an 18-year corporate, 6-figure salary to do my own business. And I thought if it didn't somehow work out, I can always go back. But that was 23 years ago. I've never looked back. I've just constantly flowed with it and moved with it and helped clients all over the world via Zoom. And then, of course, in person here in Texas. But I've just enjoyed it because there's so many facets of it. Today, we're going to talk more about love and romance. But, it's a really good art for redesigning your business space so you have more profits, or your home so you have more harmony and clarity, and all around just your environment supporting you so you can do the things in life that you desire with ease and grace.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing what you do. And I remember we met at an online networking event and you were so passionate about it. And already then you gave me a few tips about how to arrange my bedroom to attract an ideal partner in my life. And I absolutely was blown away by the depth of your knowledge and how practical it is as well. As woo-woo as it can sound, like, some people don't dig as much as I do into energy stuff. But yeah, just doing those little tweaks and just let's see what works, what doesn't. Can be pretty fascinating. So let's go straight into it. So what are your recommendations to attract more love into our lives?
Well, thank you for mentioning that. I really love this topic because usually people call me for two reasons: more money, they're wanting more increase in money, or they want their love life. They want to attract a partner, or they want the one they have to work better or be enhanced. And so those are really great. And so I always start with any client on whatever level they are with intention. What is it you're really wanting right now? Because we can do all these wonderful things. We can realign your space. We can create a beautiful bedroom. But if you're not willing to really receive this new partner, and you're not ready somewhere in your DNA at the very core level, some fears about relationships, then you're going to block it. And it's definitely, you're going to have all of these opportunities flying all around you, and you're going to miss them. I don't know if you're familiar with a book by Marianne Williamson called A Return to Love. It was written many years ago. It's one of the best books on love, but she talks about the fact that your partner is just basically hovering, just waiting to land. Yep. It's kind of like, on a radio, you tune to a channel, and just getting yourself aligned so that
that's exactly the work I do, people. Get into alignment with that ideal partner.
It's so important because you can miss everything because you're too busy worrying or stressed out or fearful. So you're missing all of the great things that are coming your way. So that's the first thing I always try to tell people to do, is to work on that first and make sure it's strong. Make sure you believe it. It's not just words. I have a loving partner in my life now who supports me in every way. You don't even have to know what the person looks like or what they feel like. Just the fact that this person is there for you, supporting you, and you feel great with that person is a great start. So you start with that intention, and I always put it somewhere where you can see it, like where you get ready in the morning, maybe on your bathroom mirror, you're in your closet, where you can see that and say, I'm receiving my partner today, and everything is, in order. I'm ready. The other is the idea that you set up your bedroom for receiving this person. Act as if your ideal, if you're single, act as if your ideal partner is going to visit you in a couple of weeks. What does your bedroom look like? Is it ready for that person? Many people have no room for another person. Like a lot of women, their closets are full. There's no room to even hang another shirt. So you kind of want to clear space in your closet for that person to hang clothes. You want to have a bedside table that's empty all the time, so that it's like it's acting as if this.
So you would need to have two bedside tables, right? One for you,
yes,
them on
that's
each
another.
side of the
That's
bed.
another. That's the third principle: is to have everything in pairs. Because pairs is partnership. So two bedside tables, two lamps. They don't have to match exactly, but they kind of have to be in balance. And so you have that partnership kind of energy already going for you. And that's very important. And I tell people to design their bedroom as though, imagine, and that's why I put this picture up. Imagine yourself going on a beautiful vacation, staying in a fabulous hotel with your partner. What would the room look like? It would not have all the clutter that you have now. It would not have, kids' toys everywhere. It wouldn't have dog toys. It wouldn't have papers on the floor. It wouldn't have a work desk where you have stuff. You see, it would be very serene and beautiful and romantic, because that's what you're going towards. You're wanting to have a romantic time with your partner. So that place would be something very serene and peaceful. That's the effect you want with your bedroom. So that means no clutter under the bed, and try to get rid of clutter. Don't work with your office stuff in your bedroom at all. Try to find other places in your home, especially if you live in an apartment and you don't have an office space, set up a desk in the living room or somewhere else, but not in your bedroom. And then, you can create the ambiance of being on your ideal vacation. If you would love to visit Bali or Monaco or Paris, maybe you have a beautiful picture of that opposite your bed. And then you create this ambiance in your room. And the colors in Feng Shui that are really good for love and romance are the pinks. And that's for love. And also red is for passion. So sometimes couples come to me who've been married many, many years, and the passion has kind of left. And so it's like, how do we, get that going? Well, there's things you do, but also adding red, because red is a fire energy and it adds to the passion. And so if you're going out and about and you're wanting to create, romance, love with your partner or attract a partner, wear pink. I'm wearing pink today for that reason. And you can wear pink, jewelry or things that have to do with the love color. It's being in that vibration of feeling like you're already love. You already have the love in your life. You're just open for more. And that also goes to the other side of the coin, which I have many clients when we're working in their homes, they'll say, I don't care about a relationship. I'm done, married, divorced. I don't need nobody. I'm done. And I say, that's fine, because your perception of a relationship is the past. Your perception is what you had. And so you're thinking you don't want that anymore. And I get that. But you don't want to block the possibility that you could be drawing someone who's really right for you where you are now. And that could come as a friend. It could come as a mentor. It could come as a supportive person that develops into romance. So you don't want to shut the door completely by saying, I don't want any of that, because you always have the ability to choose. Yeah. I'd rather be able to choose not to go out with someone than not to ever have choices. Right? So, that's one thing, because you block yourself with that. So that's really important. Go
I have
ahead.
a few questions there. So one, as human beings, connection is one of our primary needs. So whether it comes, in the form of family, friends, you definitely want to invite people in your life, even if it's not in the romantic sense, and keep developing yourself, because those relationships will teach you about yourself and will help you move on whatever direction you want to go to. But coming back to the bedroom, so the bedroom has two functions, so the passion and the romance, but also sleeping, obviously. So I believe that pink and red are more about the fiery and the passion, but for sleeping, isn't the blue or more calming colors advised? So how do you combine the two, or is it just like bringing in some touches of reds to I don't know, make it like both compatible?
Great question. Yes, the bedroom absolutely is to rest and recharge. It is the only place in our entire home where we're able to do that. And so it has to be optimum, because if we don't sleep well, our health suffers and we can't be in a relationship successfully. So that's primary. So when I say pinks, I tell people to sleep on pink sheets. Maybe your comforter is grays and blues. Maybe your theme is more of those colors. But sleeping on pink sheets would bring in that love energy. Or you can use pinks and coral. Coral is the other one that goes really well, peaches and corals, and sand colors and creams, soft colors. Those colors can be brought into the comforter, to the bedding, and then you can do touches of red, like red pillows, red candles. You could do pink candles. You could do like you know, your picture could have some red in it, two people dancing, and the woman's wearing a red dress or something. It could be that. But yes, you do want your bedroom to have very serene, calm colors, which are the creams and whites and beiges and corals and pinks that are more subdued. And then adding blues are okay, but to do a blue room, which is very popular now, and so are the grays, is very cold. And so when my clients are wanting to bring in the love energy, I try to bring in more of those other colors, because gray goes really well with pink. Blue goes really well with some other of these colors. So just combine them so it has more of a subdued kind of calming feeling.
Yeah.
But when we talk about pairs, I always like for people to have a picture in their bedroom of a pair of something. So maybe it's two people walking on the beach in Hawaii. Maybe it's two people dancing, some beautiful location. Maybe it's two people having a glass of wine in Paris. It's a pairing of something, and it's just bringing in that love vibration again, so that you walk in and it feels romantic, it feels harmonious, feels loving. We don't have spiritual icons in the bedroom. We don't put up angels and Jesus and Buddhas and all of that in the bedroom. I have some very religious clients, and that's fine. They will, will move that stuff to an altar area in another home. If they have to have one feeling of something like that, then I always advise them to put it like in their side drawer, like maybe an angel or something could be in their side drawer. Because the idea is that you don't want all of these icons, staring at you while you're trying to be intimate.
Yeah.
Because
Jesus
you
is
want to,
looking at you.
yeah, and also you don't want pictures of family in there either, and kids and grandma.
Right.
Okay,
Yes, makes sense.
same reason. You want to be just you and your partner, so that you can be very uninhibited, very yourself,
Yeah.
comfortable. This really light shade of pink, by the way, that's kind of close to skin tone, is a really pretty color for walls and for sheets and bedding, because when you're in bed at night, you look really good against it. Whereas yellows and greens and grays, you don't. And so that's the effect of that as well. And then, having candles, for the ambiance, is always nice. So those are all things that you can add to, but those colors are really important for not only sleeping well, but also for harmony and for romance.
What
And your
about
bed
crystals? Some people are really
crystal,
into
yeah,
crystals, the energy they bring. So do you recommend working with them, or certain crystals or no crystals? What's the story with that?
yeah. Well, in Feng Shui, all of the directions of the home have an element, and the bedroom is typically is the southwest sector is relationships.
Okay,
And
so should we have
and
a bedroom like, oh sorry, so if we have the choice of the rooms, and we know obviously where the north and south is, so southwest is where we would rather want our bedroom to be.
if you could put your bedroom there, it would be great. But if not, you activate the southwest corner of your bedroom
Right.
with a round faceted crystal. And we use round faceted because it takes the energy all across the room in a very balanced way, as opposed to triangles or any other kind of shape. So round faceted, about the size of, a fairly good size, not a little pea size, but a fairly good size crystal that would hang, and it can hang in, it can be a pink color, rose color. Rose quartz salt lamps people use in their bedrooms are also nice, because that's the earth element.
Yeah.
And the earth element is what brings in relationships and helps to ground them.
Oh, so earth element, so that, does it mean, that's maybe a stretch, but with astrology, some signs of earth signs, so does that mean that there's a correlation, like people who have earth signs on their chart would be more, not better, but I don't know, something with
No,
really.
no. I mean, they would have some earth in them they would be probably more suited to being in partnerships if they have a lot of earth, but that's not the only thing. There's so many factors because the compatibility of the two people and the compatibility of the two elements.
That's right.
So there's more to it than that, but just generally decorating your bedroom in earth colors, which are the pinks and the browns and the creams and the earthy tones, is good. Hanging a crystal either in the center or off into the southwest corner is good. Not having clutter under the bed, and not having a bed that's all the way to the ground, because we need to have the chi go around you to support
Right.
your health. Okay. And we don't want your bed placement to be in line with the door going out. We also don't want it in line with a bathroom. We don't want you in bed looking at the commode. You want to be able to have, everything off to the side and your bed in a good placement. The bed placement is always on a solid wall, like this headboard here, where you can see the room. Okay. Yeah. So that's better. And then you also want to not be on a plumbing wall or an electrical wall if this is the outside of your house. So those are things you have to think about, because electromagnetic frequencies affect us when we sleep. So we have to be safe. So be sure you're not putting your head against. If you are, then they say use a really solid wood headboard, and then maybe even reinforce with wood behind you. Like this is wood behind on this wall. People might do that if that's the only way they can put their bed. But those are important things as far as bed placement. And always have a very good, solid, organic mattress that is not lumpy and old. And if you've been in a relationship before, marriage and divorce, it's better to get a new mattress, new bedding for fresh and new beginnings. You can keep the bed if you love it. I would sage it, doing some sage and just kind of burning it and kind of, letting the room have all new energy. But the mattress and the bedding and all of that should really be new if you're going into a new relationship. And then the other thing is, there's another author, Wayne Dyer. He's written many, many, many books. He passed away just not too many years ago. But anyway, he talks about the fact that, you don't have to put that much effort into finding somebody, like going on all these websites and going online and then going to clubs and da. He basically says you don't have to do any of that. You really just have to believe that you are already in that relationship, and it happens organically. Absolutely. And so, and like my Feng Shui grandmaster used to say, it doesn't help to Feng Shui the bedroom if you never go out. So
mind you, I have a funny story about a lady who, we did a course together, and she was focusing on money, but she also wanted to attract a partner. So she went home and she had a spare bedroom that she put on Airbnb. And the first guy who walked through the door ended up being her partner for 6 years. So sometimes it's just a matter of alignment within yourself. obviously getting out helps. Her version of getting out was to put the room on Airbnb, I guess. But yeah, like the alignment of energy, and sometimes people say, oh, I firmly believe that my partner is here and is coming. I said, well, if that was truly 100% the case, your partner would already be here. So it just shows that there's a kink in the thinking, in the energy field, or in their mind, that is preventing that to happen. And sometimes it's a really tiny adjustment, but yeah, if you don't have the result you want right now, it's because your thoughts, your beliefs is not 100% there.
Well, you know how it is when it's something simple, like you've been thinking about a pair of shoes, and the next thing you know, you go out and they're there, and they're the right price.
Yeah.
And you know that you might as well not wait, just go ahead and buy them because you've been thinking about them for months. It's the same thing. It's like when she said he walked in and immediately they dated, and it wasn't immediate. She had already built that up in her vortex. She had that in her system. It was just her letting her guard down and allowing it to happen and going, okay, I'll say yes.
Yeah.
We already have it there. So if there's something there that you're still not seeing in your results, as you mentioned in the work you do, you help people kind of uncover that, is to figure out what is there anything in your thoughts that would prevent you from having that ideal person right now. Any fears. I remember one time I was in my home years ago, and I had just moved in, and my husband and I were there and all, and I was doing the interior, and I was doing the landscape in the front yard and all of this. And I just left the backyard plain. And I basically, just because of maintenance, I just was working, traveling a lot. I thought if I could just have the front looking nice, we drive up and then we have our home and we have a patio, and just leave the backyard, just to be mowed. I was good. So I asked my Feng Shui Master if that was okay, because we have a sector for love and romance in our yard. Mm-hmm. And it's the far right corner on according to what we use as a map. So I said, is it okay that I'm feng shuiing the interior, but I'm not doing anything outside? And he said, why not? And I said, well, it's too time consuming, it's high maintenance and expensive. He goes, well, that's those are the three things you think about your relationship.
The way you do one thing is the way you do everything, right?
Yeah, you see relationships as high maintenance, too much work, too time consuming, and costing too much. And of course, in my workings, I wasn't thinking that. Well, I didn't stay married for very long. So, that was there. And so it was very revealing to me, because you really, if you ask yourself the questions, it kind of tells you what's going on, and why are we not manifesting that person right now? Maybe there's a reason. Sometimes people are so comfortable with their lives. They love coming home from work and it being all nice and neat, and they have their little dog to greet them, and they're happy as it can be. But they say, but I'd love a man too. Yeah, but that's like, not strong. So, it's, so you have to just ask yourself those questions, and don't be hard on yourself. Just realize every day is a new day to start. And if this is what you really want, to have a loving relationship in your life, a companion, a friend, however you want it, you can have it.
Absolutely.
And in my work, we just set the stage. Setting the stage helps you get in alignment. And the alignment is what makes it happen.
Our reality is essentially a projection of our own brain, of our beliefs and everything. And it's true in the people we see in front of us. So whether they trigger us or we admire them, it's all something that resonates with us, but also with the objects or the environment we choose for ourselves. They are also representation of ourselves, because that's what we tolerate or we invite in our space. So yeah, like it totally makes sense that what we have around us represents how we are structured inside our mind and how we interact with other people as well.
And I had a feng shui a master tell me one time, or tell us as a group, that when you have, well, let me rephrase that and say, there was a client I had where she wanted a partnership. And so we worked on her apartment, but we were going to definitely work on her bedroom. And there was a picture over her bed of a woman crying. And she had that picture up there for years. there was a vase of roses next to her bed with roses that were dried. I said, how long has that vase been there? Years. Some old boyfriend. So we subconsciously don't even know what our thoughts are telling us, but the bedroom, I mean, the room, anywhere about it tells you. When we were learning and getting our training, we were taught that when you cross the threshold of someone's home, you're into their world, and it's telling you everything about them. Yeah. And when I first was learning this art, I had heard that there was this Feng Shui master that could go into a bedroom and just kind of feel, and he could tell you everything that was going on with the couple. And I was like, really? Well, he wasn't psychic. He was feeling energy, and energy is reflected in objects. We place things, even if it's on a subconscious level, we place things there for a reason. And so with that crying woman over the bed, the dead flowers, she didn't see much hope in relationships. There was a sadness about them, and also nostalgia, like looking back on the past. So we changed that out, fresh flowers, changed out the picture, redid the bedding, redid the room. Next time I saw her, she looked like she was 10 years younger. She had, trimmed her hair, and, she put a little makeup on, and she had a, a little, kick in her step, and, she was an older lady. So it was great. I mean, it was just like brought life to her, but it just took somebody else kind of to look at that. And she was ready. Up to that point, she wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say, be aware of your surroundings, because it's telling you something. It's telling you what's going on in your life. If it's cluttered and heavy, you're blocking yourself.
I was going to say that I know a gentleman in particular, like his office is such a mess, and his calendar is full on. And I said, well, if that is a representation of your mind, your brain is seriously like cluttered and busy, and no wonder you're feeling overwhelmed and having all these things happening, because you can't see clearly. And it's the physical representation would be to walk around and bump into each other, everything, because it's so cluttered. And your mind is the same. You hit problems all the time because it's so cluttered. So if you clean up your space, you clean up your mind at the same time, and you get so much different results just from doing that. Because sometimes people have a emotional attachment to things and don't want to let go, but I guess that's also the symbolic of moving on, or letting energy flow, or inviting new things in your life.
Hanging on to the past, by keeping all that stuff, you're hanging on to the past because you fear the future, you fear the now of what it could be different, and you're familiar with the way things have gone. And so it can be. I remember hearing about Albert Einstein that his desk was always messy, always, like just papers. It was a mess, and he was brilliant, right? Yes, but we don't know how the rest of his life worked. Yeah, maybe he was a great mathematician, but we don't know how his, health-wise, his relationships, the way, if he slept. We don't know any of that, because we just focus on the fact that he was this brilliant scientist. But they used to say, so it doesn't really, you'd have clutter. Look at Einstein. Well, no, that's just one aspect of his life that he had someone there who kept it organized for him, had all of his articles and documents and what he was working on, how much the man could have accomplished and done even more, and been a better feeling person too. It's just so much more that can be had from that. So that's one of the things that I really focus on, is if you want to clear up, your health, I tell people, clean out your refrigerator. If you want to boost your career, clean out your office. If you want to love and romance boost, clean out your bedroom. It's really, symbolic of what's going on, that clutter will block opportunities.
Yeah.
And then, I think you might work with your clients with vision boards. Yes. I have a love vision board in my closet. And so when I get ready in the morning, I see it. There's other places that you can put it. And that's always really important too, for people that have a little bit of trouble with visualizing, is to put images of what kind of scene you'd want to be in with your partner, and what kind of things you would want to be doing. Don't focus so much on he or she needs to be a certain height, weight, hair color, eye color, build.
How you want to feel in the presence, right? Like that's
If
always the
you're
feeling. The energy is always the feeling.
if you guys are in harmony and you're crazy about each other, I mean, you feel each other, you're gonna attract that anyway. It's gonna be there because you feel it. I mean, how many couples do you see together and you go, I can't see them together at all, but they, they see each other in that way, and that's really the thing. There is somebody for everyone, and that alignment is just just a step away.
Yeah.
And how do
Yeah.
we get there is just by constantly being in the happy moment, being in the happy place, being happy with what we have and where we are, and being open for more.
So I could talk about that all day. And I have another question quickly about money. How can we attract more money? Because money is often a topic of discord in a relationship. So I don't know. Can we do something about that in our home so that both people find everything they want and more in their relationship and with money?
Well, that's a big topic, okay, and that's hard to get through in a few minutes, but generally it's same principles. Clutter is going to block opportunities. Water issues in your home, like leaky faucets and things like that, are going to cause money problems. Your house and your space needs to be maintained to the optimum for good money flow. You need to surround yourself in beauty and elegance as best you can. So, for example, if your home office is, you have posters up with thumbtacks, that's your artwork, then you're going to attract clients that don't have a lot of money.
Okay.
It's better for you to find something beautiful that's on canvas or framed. So even if it's only one thing, maybe that's the only thing you have in your office. Better to have less than more if it's not quality.
Yeah.
And then putting symbols of money around you. And we use like money plants, jade plants. We use symbols for money, it could be coins, things like that, just remind you of that. But the thing with the money flow is, again, intention. I'm abundant. Money's flowing to me easily. I'm receiving it now. And I'm grateful for everything I have. And I'm open to winning this and much more. And the intention has got to be there. But it's really, again, it's the same principles, taking action every day towards your goals and seeing yourself as abundant. Mm-hmm. I tell people at network meetings, when someone asks you, when they walk up to you and they ask you how your business is doing, and you haven't had any business in the last couple of months, or you haven't made any money, the last thing you want to say is terrible. I'm not making any money. You want to say it's great and I am open for more. So if you know a client that really needs some help boosting their business, here's my card. So not only are you staying in the present, you're moving forward and you're asking. Mm-hmm. Okay. No matter what your situation is, maybe you don't have a full bank account right now, but you have to see it as coming.
Yeah.
One of our teachers used to say, when, visualize a $5 check that comes in the mail as 500. Visualize somebody giving you a $20 as them giving you 200,000. Just see the money coming to you in different ways, and don't get caught up on how it comes to you. It can come to you in many different ways. You can win the lottery. Somebody can give you some money. It could be a new idea creatively. It could be your business. It could be any number of ways. And those ideas keep coming. Steve Jobs from Apple, he said, I'm not interested in making money. I'm interested in making something unique. Yeah. And so in the business, think about that. Think about being creative every day. How can I make my business more unique than the next one? That's going to bring in money. And always see yourself as making money and money coming in.
And that's
vibration. Yes.
Well, so what I teach is, who do I need to become? So if you have this idea of someone who's highly successful, what does it look like? And how would that person behave? So how can I adjust my behavior or my way to interact, or choosing items or placing items that very successful person would be, or that person in a relationship would be? And if you're in a relationship, you would most likely make sure that you tidy up at least a little bit so that you don't get your partner cranky. So you may as well get into the habit right now. So become who you want to be in the future right now.
Well,
That's
Tony, you're familiar with Tony Robbins, the big guru. Okay. Well, when he started, he lived in a 700 square foot apartment. He talks about this from his early days. And he didn't have any money, and all he did was read books. He read books, read books. I don't know how many he said he read, like 1,000. He said he just kept reading. And he said one of the things he did was he found something that he always wanted, and he decided that he was going to, make a purchase of it that would make him feel abundant.
Mm.
And so for him, it was a Rolex watch. And that was a big expense. But he wore that watch every day, no matter where he went, what he did. He saw himself as wealthy. And he recommends that. He said, whatever that is, maybe it's a bottle of wine that you never thought you could have, or maybe it's whatever it is, do that for yourself. And have that be a symbol to remind you that you're very well off. You're already there. And you're just going to be drawing that to you. So I did that. I went and I found a vintage, because I couldn't afford a real Rolex at the time. I got a vintage Rolex. But to me, it was brand new. I mean, it looked new and it was working and it was a good one. And I was kind of in sales in the beginning part, not making that much money. But with that, I wore it to work all the time. I did it. And I landed up moving in that direction, getting, things that I had manifested in my brain. I said, I want to live in a big Victorian house full of antiques. I want to be married. I want to have a job that's really fulfilling and da-da-da. And then one day I went to the mailbox to get something, and I looked back at my house and I had all that.
Mm.
And I realized it was already there, but, I was unlocking it by feeling every day that's coming. And you're making choices every day when you know it's coming. You're making choices towards getting there. That's what's the cool part. They call that being in alignment, changing your vibration. I never tell people, I say never, I'm human, but I do my best not to tell people I can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather say, I choose not to spend my money on that right now. Like every year you get, people want you to invest in SEO or marketing or social media or Google searches, and I'll say, I've already met my marketing budget right now. I think I'm going to invest in something else, but thank you anyway, rather than I can't afford that. And I got into the habit of doing that. Yeah.
It's always a matter of priority, right? Because at that particular moment, you valued something else more than the particular product or service. So how you allocate your money is also in alignment with what you deeply believe or what you deeply value at that point in time. Maybe in 6 months, that's going to be different. But right now, I prioritize spending on health or romance or whatever it is, or business. But yeah, it's always
and wealthy people will tell you that they do value their money. They're not going to just spend it. I mean, they're going to spend it on something that they value and they feel will bring them joy or be an investment or what have you. It's not just throwing it away. So I always look at that, and I remember that, about that is to, emulate kind of the way that wealthy people think and how they do things, because it's very much of a laissez-faire. I mean, it's not, money is not that, because they know they have it and they're going to always have it.
Yeah.
And so you kind of want to be in that mode of feeling that way, so that it's, and it's different for everybody, but so that you're not blocking yourself from receiving it. But that's the main thing is the intention and putting, clearing your financial corner, if you will. If you have a safe, or you have files where you store all your stocks and bonds, or you store things, make sure that's cleaned out. Make sure it's not there stuff in there from 30 years ago. Because that's like your little money corner, and you really need to have that, fresh and working for you in the current state.
Yeah. I love everything, every single thing you said. And now I just want to go and declutter my whole home. But is there any final words you'd like to share before we wrap this up?
No, again, I want to thank you so very much. I'm glad to spread this knowledge across the globe and your world, and you're allowing me to do that today. So I'm so grateful to you, and I wish you all the best in your career and the fact that you're sharing your work with people is spreading more love in the world. And that's what we all want to be doing, is we want to feel love for ourselves first
Yes.
in every possible way. The other things are just choices of what we want to add to our lives. So I leave you with that, is that, you know, the self-care and the self-love comes first. And I can help anyone on Zoom if you want to redo your bedroom, or you just have an issue with your love life, or you just want to talk about how to increase prosperity, whatever. And I always offer, you know, especially to your listeners, a 45-minute free Zoom consult on that. So if you have an interest in it, just to kind of, you know, get you going, I'd be happy to have you contact me at designforenergy.com. You can email me there, and we can set up a session via Zoom. And it's just an intro, you know, to meet each other and help you, you know, get some foundation and started on whatever issue might be blocked.
Perfect. So do connect with Belinda, check out her work. That is absolutely amazing. And don't wait any longer. The time is now, okay?
Sure is.
Thank you so much, Belinda, for your beautiful energy and all your wisdom today. And we'll hear about you for sure around the place.
Thank you. And I'll share this with my people here in the Texas and surrounding areas, so they get to know about your work too.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
And on
Thank
that
you.
note, have a beautiful day, everybody.